between Pkric and Tristop. I am ready. You're all ready. Let's get them started. Semifinal number 2, Classic Tetris Monthly, Das Masters, August 2024 in 3, 2, 1 Tetris. Now, the lore here is that there is a roach in Tristop's room. Now, there seems to be bugs just follow this guy around. There's moths, there's roaches. I would just leave. I would just say I need to reschedule, but this guy's ultimate Tetris hero, and he's like, I'm gonna play, man. So who are our players? Well, Pkric, of course, as the voice, a main voice of the Classic Tetris League. Also a pretty darn good DAS player, our number 6 seed here out of the United States of America. And you'll see a PB on the screen that says 1.16 million. Now, we do that at the beginning of the month, and the word has come down that Pkric has gotten his first ever 1.2 million just today. So a big congrats to Pkric on getting that 1.2. It's always good to come into a tournament kind of hot, playing your best Tetris. So we'll see how that plays out here in the semifinals. 103 here for Pkric. And on the right side of the screen is Tristop, who's coming off of a couple of regional wins. Won the regional. He's got the 5 below there. Won a regional in Montreal, Canada. Maybe you've heard of it. I was there. It was a great time. So Tristop won that. Also won the Philly regional as well. And of course, earlier in the year, made a deep run into the Classic Tetris World Championship. I can now spoil because the videos are up. And he made it into the semifinals to take on Alex T. How that went, well, I don't want to spoil it. I mean, I do want to, but I'll never hear the end of it. 212 here for Tristop, 221 for Pkric. Wellband says, is the switch from semis rule applied to all tiers? No, just at the very highest level, because that ends up being 5 spots, whereas in the lower tiers, it's really only 4 spots because the winner exits to the higher tier, right? And so it's only going to be the top tiers of DAS Masters, regular Masters, and the secret third tournament that we may or may not do on a monthly basis. 309 here for Tristop. Tristop has got a 1.31 million, and as of the time that we took these stats, had the number 4 overall DAS score in the world. That's right. Darth Bunny, Vince would give up right away against a roach. Actually, maybe Vince, well, no comment. Anyway, 355 Tristop, 331 Pkric. We get underway here in semifinal number 2, or reach the midpoint of level 18 phase. Nice setup there with that T to create a tuck for an O piece. Stoke234 subscribed at tier 1 for 6 months in advance. So we love that. Tier 1 6 months in advance says, I love watching DAS. And by the way, it's a good reminder. It is September on Twitch, and what that means is that you can subscribe at a 30% discount. And I think, I don't 100% know, and someone can maybe confirm that applies to all these subscribing in advance options. So a 30% discount on subs is, I think that just comes out of Twitch's end. Better not come out of my end. But that is a very good deal. So if you are somebody who wants to show your support for the channel, wants to subscribe on Twitch, and get our emotes that you can use on Twitch all the time, now is the time to do it. 543 for Tristop, 478. And if you can do it in advance for the entire year, RickyBot says the Discord invite is invalid. Use discord.gg/CTM. That will also work. Maybe we'll just switch it to that. But yeah, if you want to support the channel and you want to get the emotes and you want to subscribe and you want to do it in advance, this is the month to do it. I think you can subscribe 6 months in advance. Yeah, discount is for advance, says Stoke, who just did it. 550 for Peak, 612 for Tristop. So this is, yeah, so please, if you're going to do it this month. Do it for 12 months in advance. And then you don't have to worry about it the rest of the year, and you're subbed all year. 658 Tristop into 19. Huge transition pace for Tristop. There's a dirty off-center well Tetris for Peak. 1 row off the bottom and in column 3. Deck has subscribed with Prime 16 months. Says, I'm not subbing. You can't make me. Thank you, Peak. I'm sorry, Deck. Not Peak. Oh, they're going crazy downstairs. The downstairs neighbor has a situation down there. And sometimes that causes people to be loud. And they're on fire today, I'll tell you that. 632 for Peak. 769 now, 796 for Tristop. Peak will get another Tetris. So Peak right now back by 135,000 points, but ahead by 10 lines. So this is a problem for Peak. Really does not have a lot of room. Remember, level 29 is, in essence, the DAS kill screen. So Peak really hoping something happens to Tristop or is just going to have to go aggro. Some combination of those two things. Peak taking a double and a Tetris 757. He's starting to close the gap a little bit. Tristop was burning for a bit. This gives Peak a way back in. Tristop going to get that square to the left to build all that out, and it was the best place for the square. Tristop long bar Tetris down 877 here on 24. Peak starting to close the gap a little bit as Tristop continues to have to burn. It's low on the stack, so not really in danger of topping out, but he's just wasting valuable pace here, and it's not his fault really. It's just you've got the board configured in a certain way, and the pieces just don't align right. Tristop now still in the lead by about 30,000 points. Remember, Tristop working 10 lines behind. So Peak here with the Tetris at 214 has 16 lines to go. Tristop still with 23 lines to go. So Peak is not, it's not just like, oh, it's just a moment, he's going to take it. He does have to hustle a bit. And he knows it. So he's setting up here. He's not messing around. Yeah, so he's setting up for that off-center well Tetris. And he knows what he has to do. Tristop with the max out, 11 lines to go. Here's one for Peak at A33. Tristop a couple thousand points behind, but has lines in hand. And Peak is into 29 with that open well. Never could get a bar to fill it in. And Tristop is good in game number 1. And Tristop with the 1.1. Yeah, Peak knew what he needed to do, and you could see, several levels before doing what he needed to do. As soon as Tristop got out of that dig, Peak knew it was go time. Peak looking to tie it up right now. Let's go. 3-2-1 Tetris. All right, El Peltum, if I do mod you, though, don't mess around. Like, be a mod. Don't mess around. I'm trusting you now. I'm putting my trust in you. For real. All right, we are underway. Game number 2. Tristop played in the Masters event this month, went out in the top 8 to, you guessed it, Alex T in a rematch of their semifinal match from CTWC. That's coming. If you want to watch that, that's going to be also a banger of a stream. That's going to be Dangler versus Sidnev, neither of whom have won a Masters event, so at least one of them will be in the finals. So Dangler and Sidnev, and then Alex T and Blue Scooty as the other match. So either way, whoever's looking for their first Masters event win, they're going to have to go through a monster. Alex T's won the tournament 3 months in a row. There's also the rank. Well, I don't want to say that, but also he did pretty well at CTWC. Tristop in trouble. He's going to tuck on that left side. This is so tough. A square gets over. And I don't know how Tristop's doing this. I mean, this is amazing survival from Tristop, and he's going to bring this down, and he's not 100% out of the woods, but that double is going to help a lot. And that triple will clear everything away. Well, it's not quite no harm, no foul, because he is back by about 40,000 points now. But that was crazy, crazy digging. I swear, like, really anybody else would top out there. Oh, Tristop gonna kind of early. Again, more early shifts here from Tristop. So he looks like he's a little thrown off here in game 2. Now it's Peak's turn. Peak's board starting to climb a little bit. He's got gaps over there in columns 2, 3, and 4. And it's hard to clear away any of these without covering another one of them. So he's going to try. That bar will help. Those bars are kind of your friend if you can use them to just fill in that one Mino just to the left of a gap where you've got a gap. That helps a lot. 270 Peak, 265 for Tristop. And now both players are clean. Peak ahead by about a Tetris and a half. Just about the same number of lines, a couple more lines. And Tristop gets a Tetris, and so does Peak. And somehow these players, through all the, down stacking they've had to do in messy boards, they still have over 300,000 points through about 80-something lines, which, me, I would, I'd be about 186 right now if I hadn't topped out. These players on a whole other level. All right, Tetris Peak 368. There's one Tristop. He's got another one set up already. Both of them do. Skimming a Tetris for Peak 392. There's one for Tristop 365. It is pretty darn close. Peak still with a little pace lead, but not by much. The middle of Peak's board could use some help, and okay, he's going to get it. He's going to bring it down. That could have been very bad. And Tristop going to get a long bar over to bring this stack down. Now he's got that little notch there in column 9 kind of sticking out. Not ideal. You got to get to work on that. Nice placement of that L piece to make room for the long bar. And a Tetris Tristop 440. He's actually now in the lead at this moment. Peak's going to get a Tetris and get it back. So they are neck and neck, if you want to use that. Peak is into 19 at 493. Tristop is in at 486. So a pace lead at transition for Peak. Flat long bar skim for Tristop. What's he setting up for here? Yeah, he's just going to bring this down, try to have a good stack here on 19. You don't need to get into any weird high-flying acrobatics here on 19. Just keeping it simple. All right, Pkric having to bring this down that left side. Is now accessible. Gonna leave himself a gap though. All right, long bar over Tristop. You can see the placements of those squares in the middle. Probably wouldn't have been able to get them over to the left side. And so he very wisely opts to drop them in the middle of the stack. That left side a problem now, or the center. Tristop going to bring this down with a Tetris 579 for him, and he just needs to work this stack back down. Dirty Tetris, column 2 for Pkric 589. We're on level 22. Their captures look a little different, but it is the same level. Pkric with that bubblegum capture. Tristop with the more canonical purple thing. 5 below to the left side for Tristop. 3 or 4 rows off the bottom. Tetris Pkric 626. He's ahead by about a Tetris. There's one for Tristop. So Pkric still with a little bit of a pace lead when their lines are about the same. Tetris for Tristop 681. Pkric line dependent in the middle, gets a line, uncovers the well to the right. So he set up Tetris. He's going to take a safe triple on that left side and sets himself up for a skim to get Tetris ready again. And now he's got a gap there in column 4, 2 that he keeps having to put weight on. This could be trouble for Pkric, and he needs something for that left side. And L would be great. Can't get a bar over to the left. And Pkric is going to try to do that, and it's not going to get over. And Tristop is good in game number 2. So Pkric had a gap there in column 3, a 2x1 gap, basically. Column 4. Let's go. 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Kuro Fox, you want to be a YouTube mod? All right. Chat over there so I can write your so I can right click on your name. Rocco Ricci, what the heck? All right, Tristop in some early trouble. That left side is a problem. And I don't know how he's going to access it he's not going to. So Tristop going to drop a quick game, a gift over here to Pkric. Pkric, you are good in game number 3. That's Das for you. Let's get him started here in game number 4. 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Kuro Fox is here. All right, we'll add Stanislaw on YouTube. But we've been pretty good on YouTube lately. There's a time there where it was really flaring up. But, the mods we added seem to have helped out quite a bit. I think probably mainly Mari. $98,000 for Tristop here in game number 4. Pkric trying to win this one to force a reverse sweep scenario. Yeah, YouTube is behaving pretty well lately. So it does have a low tolerance for... I don't know, you can mess with me, you can say a lot of stuff, but just don't mess with the players, you know? That's the most important thing. $128 Pkric, $167 Tristop. Pkric gets a Tetris. There's one for Tristop. So right now, same lines, 40,000 point lead for Tristop. Just under 2 Tetrises. Ivan says, was Geo eliminated? Yes. Dog advanced through Giovanni. It was a good match. All right, Tristop kind of pulling back that long bar. Not exactly sure what the thought was there, but he had a notion. Ends up not really harming him, though, because he got another long bar to fill in that situation. Tristop stacking high. This is like 1.3 stacking, maybe. Maybe it's 1.2 stacking. All right, Tristop filling out that left, preferring to take some kind of skim to set up on that right side. There it is. Long bar over for a Tetris Tristop 292. Peak setting up with that long bar in column 9. Building out that left. Nice L for that left to flatten it out. Tetris Peak 321, 338 Tristop. All right, Peak's is going to take that double to get that stack back in order. Tuck that J in, skim with the T, get a bar for a Tetris 370. There's a good-looking J for Tristop's board to uncover that well. Gets Tetris ready, gets it 408. Suki Sue says, "Am I only one think commentator voice sound like Donald Trump?" Probably. Now what is happening in chat? We've got more mods than ever, and now I'm being called Donald Trump. We got people bringing up Hawk Tua girl. What is happening? This is not Twitter, guys. This is CTM on YouTube. 438 Tristop, 425 for Peak. All right, Tristop with the spin of that J. All right, Spin City down the right side for Tristop. He's going to get another Tetris 511. Starting to pull away a bit from Peak as we approach the level 19 transition. .467 transition for Peak. Gets that spin. Critical spin there. Oh, and squares are just messing with Peak's board right now. The middle of his board is going to mess him up entirely. Peak has topped out, and Tristop will be advancing to the finals. So Tristop, you are good. And Peak, you're also good, but you also are not going to win this tournament this month. Hope to see you again. Congrats on getting this far. You did make it into the prize pool, so you have won money in a DAS tournament. But do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Real Bland with the tier 1 sub, 9 months. Thank you so much, Bland. Also, Fargons with the 17 months. Prime sub, thank you. We'll watch Tristop play this one out because I guess we watch people play things out. But some of you are going to see ads, since this kind of doesn't matter. Real Bland says, "Don't worry, Vandy. I don't think you sound like Donald Trump." All right. they're going to see advertisements on Twitch. And Neto says, you're premium YouTube, so no ads for you. Yep. Me too. YouTube Premium is like probably the best kind of streaming thing, even though it's not really streaming, but I just hate those. I watch so much YouTube. It's so bad. I just don't want to sit there and watch ads all day. All right, so Tristop 802 through 200 max out still on the table. And no longer on the table. So, Tristop, thank you so much for the Mullen. Appreciate that. Hey everybody, this is your old pal Vandweller, host of Classic Tetris Monthly, and I'm asking you to do me a favor. If you like this video, hit thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like it, please subscribe and bang that notification bell. Join our Discord server, the largest Classic Tetris community online at ctm.gg/discord, and follow us on Twitch at twitch.tv/monthlytetris. Thank you, and have a nice day.